r/ask Reddit. What's a NSFW fun fact? Electrical stimulation of a particular nerve group in the lower back can induce ejaculation. The effect is involuntary, and works in people with paralysis and even sufficiently fresh cadavers. Exactly how many corpses had to be tasered to find that out? They managed to get it right on just the very first cadaver, but it was so much fun that they blew through another dozen or so. Veterinarians use an electro-ejaculator to extract semen from bulls. Bulls and rams. I think it's not quite as effective with horses, so they get a mare in heat to arouse the stallion, then intercept his penis with a fake vagina to collect the semen. When I was a teenager, I worked for my dad, who is a veterinarian. He would collect the semen, then I'd prepare a slide with it and do the counting and rating of the semen with a portable microscope. I counted sperms per square inch, both normal and deformed, and rate the motility, or how energetic and mobile they were immediately after ejaculation. The rancher would then know if they had any ineffective males. Men who climb Mount Everest tend to get boners during the climb due to how the extreme elevation impacts blood pressure and circulation. That's not snow on Mount Everest. Imagine the conversation that came to that consensus: my penis was so hard when I go to the top of Everest. Yeah, mine too. Elephants evolved testicles that remain inside their body, due to their size and height, where testicles that hang would have been easy targets for predators to grab a quick snack. Now if only humans would also evolve like this. Yeah, I'm sick of people trying to snack on my balls. The way that clams reproduce. The male basically shoots semen in the general direction of the female, and the female uses a vacuum tube to suck all the good stuff out of the water around her. I nut in your general direction. Reverse cowgirl is the #1 way to cause penile fractures. Also, penile fractures are a thing regardless of size. Why reverse cowgirl, as opposed to regular? Penis usually bends one way, toward belly button, vagina usually goes away from the anus, up and slightly forward. Curve accents the motion of humping, providing more friction and stimulus, so there's a reason for the curve in nature. Reverse cowgirl turns it around to where the penis isn't wanting to bend in its natural direction in a confined space, varying from slightly wacky to a helluva lot of forwards action. Couple that with 100 to 300 pounds of lady giving it her power squat from the gym, and you have a recipe for a pop, especially if the penis slides all the way out and then she sits full force on ITM. Men aren't the only ones that get longer when they're aroused. The female's vaginal canal lengthens when she grows aroused, letting her accommodate something big. So if you have a little penis, the trick is to make her as unaroused as possible? Sweet, I'm already a few steps ahead. Tenting. The cervix also ascends up and away from the direct line of fire, so the deep bottoming out thrusts are no longer cervix punches, but rather grind against the posterior fornix. A second G-spot, essentially. Women who achieve orgasm from penetration, I believe, are more sensitive to posterior fornix contact. This is also, in my opinion, the only specific benefit to being above average in length. Edit, wanted to also mention that getting a lady into this state is a good reason to work on your foreplay build-up game. Yes, I read also that vaginas are like umbrellas. When women are aroused, the vagina kinda opens like an umbrella. By the way, I'm a female, and as far as I've tried to test it, it seems to be true. If a jellyfish is killed, it will release all of its sexual content. Thus, if you killed 2 jellyfish, you could possibly cause the birth of over 100 to replace them. It's essentially the same as a human dying and, if male, ejaculating so hard that every drop of semen is violently expelled from them, if female, launching eggs from their vagina. Which is disturbing to think of, but you get what I mean. I only know this cause there was a documented case of it. They tried to kill a swarm of jellyfish, I can't recall where, with a metal net dragged through the water. However, after killing about 200 of them, they later were cursed with the 3,000 or so strong offspring of those they killed. We are legion, I am a single machine in a fleet of thousands. Female pigs orgasm for up to 30 minutes. Obligatory comment. Your wife is a lucky lady. IDK, she did end up marrying the whole hog just for a little sausage. The G-spot was nearly called the Whipple tickle after Professor Beverly Whipple, who coined the expression that we know today. Tell me where you want it. In the Whipple. Bonobo apes and hedgehogs are the only animals aside from humans that look at each other when doing the naughty. Interesting. I also heard that bonobos use oral sex as a means of social interaction within their groups. I don't know if it was social status, or just that they are one of the only other species who has sex for pleasure. Most mammals, regardless of size, take approximately the same amount of time, on average, to empty their bladders. About 20 seconds. Now I'm imagining the pressure in a whale's urethra. Probably isn't so much the pressure as much as having a better flow rate. Bigger tubes mean more volume. Do you think I could put my leg in a whale's pee hole? I'm not about to add that to my search history. Fine, short answer yes. But I learned some useless, possibly scarring facts that I need to share. There's an Icelandic phallological museum. A blue whale can ejaculate 20 liters. You can use the outer skin of the whale penis as an apron while you skin the rest of it. It retracts into an S-shaped loop inside the body. I think I know what that feels like. Winter is harsh. And apparently you can fit your leg inside one. Male and female ducks are locked in a perpetual sex war against each other. Male ducks are aggressive and will breed forcefully. They are even known to commit necrophilia. Their penises grow according to how many competing males there are in their environment during mating season, and then fall off after the season. Some ducks also have barbs on their penises to scrub away rival penis sperm from females. Female ducks' vaginas are designed in a counter-corkscrew fashion to combat the male duck's explosive corkscrew penis. Females also have up to 8 false cavities to mislead an unwanted penetration. Ducks are degenerates. Ducks after the season be like, my penis fell off. Some ducks also have barbs on their penises to scrub away rival dick sperm from females. I may have witnessed the only time someone wanted to write duck and autocorrect actually managed to fail again. Your anus can stretch far enough a raccoon can fit inside. The human anus can expand to upwards of 8 inches. A raccoon can fit through a hole 4 inches in diameter. Not only can you fit a raccoon, you can get 2. Male giraffes will headbutt a female in the bladder until she urinates, then it tastes the pee to help it determine whether or not the female is ovulating. So like humans. We actually witnessed this at the zoo recently, and the person at the giraffe platform explained this fun fact. Also, they said giraffes do this about every 15 minutes. Yo, you down? No, not yet. I'll be back in a bit. There are bugs and other invertebrates, notably the bedbug, that have evolved such that the only way to reproduce is for the dude bug to stab the lady bug in her abdomen with his penis. Also, bedbugs will attempt to copulate with whatever they come in contact with. So those aren't bites you get from bed bugs. Good night, sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs nut in you. We should be good during November, correct? There is roughly 37.5 megabits of data in a single sperm, which means that the average male ejaculates 1,500 terabytes of data. That's a lot of info to swallow. It's certainly a lot to keep on one hard drive. The longer an employee is out of work as a result of an illness or injury, the less likely they are to return to work. Studies suggest that when an employee is out of work for more than 6 months, they have less than a 50% chance of ever returning to work in any capacity. That's probably because any illness or injury that puts you out for more than 6 months is probably permanently debilitating, right? I can see perhaps not returning to that particular job, but it's interesting that the studies suggest a person never goes back to work. Only 1/3 of a woman's vagina is sensitive to touch, while the other 2/3 of the vagina is pressure sensitive. Huh. How is touch not pressure? How is pressure not touch? It's the difference between tracing your fingers over top of a surface, versus pushing down on it. Or, to use body parts, it'd be the difference between rubbing your hand over your leg, versus getting a deep tissue massage. The difference between a touch screen and a keyboard. There is a species of penguins, Adelie penguins, that build nests out of pebbles. The males will bring pebbles to the females and essentially propose to them. If the female accepts, they will continue the nest building and be mates. Sometimes, the female is lazy, and doesn't want to work. In this case, the female will attract a male, get his pebble, mate with him, then attract another male, trading sex for nest materials. Essentially, some female penguins prostitute themselves for nesting materials. They didn't cover that past part in Pebble and the Penguin. Great movie regardless. The thin little seam on a man's nuts is there because it's literally fused together. In women, that seam becomes the opening to the vagina. In fact, penises and vaginas are actually sort of the same shit but rearranged during development. The clitoris grows to become the head of the penis, the labia fuse together to form the scrotum, the nuts are sorta like ovaries on the outside. Seriously, if you have a long-term, opposite-sex partner or a really open friendship who's down for this, take out your scrot lips and touch it to their scrot lips. They feel exactly the same. I believe this is also why men have nipples, because a fetus starts developing the female plan, then either switches to male or doesn't. I'm sure there are more similarities that I'm not aware of. I have nipples, Greg, can you milk me? Your testicles develop inside your body when you're a fetus, then a wall of muscle between your abdomen and your scrotum opens up to let them drop through before closing again. If it doesn't close properly, you can give birth to a baby with a horrendously distended scrotum filled with their entire intestines. FML, the mental imagery was too strong with this one. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share and subscribe.